the shares rising 10% or so in the post market. Is it really the new subscribers overseas that are allaying all of our concerns?
I think the story is that investors were clearly worried that Netflix was going to have another bad quarter. They disappointed in the second. They only added a few million customers, fewer than people had expected, and investors expected another bad one. You know, one analyst I spoke to ahead of this week said that sentiment was awful, and instead they come in right around expectations. Yes, they were a little bit beneath. They missed in the US, but they were above internationally, and that is where Netflix has been telling people for years their future is. It's a sign of where Netflix is going, that while they're going to have one of their worst years ever in the US this year, they're going to have their best year ever internationally, and that's because they have shows that are clearly resonating in Europe, in Latin America, and Asia. And again, in a sign of confidence, Netflix in the upcoming quarter is going to start breaking out its subscribers by region, which suggests that they now feel confident enough in the numbers in some of those areas to talk about it, which they have not previously.
And Lucas, talk to me about the domestic numbers. They're reversing a decline. Is it enough?
You know, I don't know. I don't know how concerned people are. Netflix has cleared the $60 million subscriber threshold, which is what CEO Reed Hastings had long said was kind of the bottom. He projected 60 million to 90 million in the US. This was a while ago, but let's keep using it. They have cleared 60, but they're going to only add about 2.7 million this year. They had historically been adding about 5 million a year. They say it just because of a price hike, and maybe that means that next year they're up to 3 or 4 million, but they also are going to be facing a lot more competition from Disney, from Apple, from AT&T, from Comcast. I think we're probably setting into something of a new reality for Netflix in the US, where after years of growing at 5 million a year, maybe it adds at 3 or 4. If they can keep that going, they'll be okay, because they'll still get to 70 or 80 million in the US, which is a pretty good number, again, provided they are also growing overseas. And the thing to keep in mind is that they are now generating more money from each one of these customers. So their revenue per customer is up, and the margins on those customers are up because the price increases have worked without costing them too much.